Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video in Python series. In this video we will learn about the concept of loops in Python. What is a loop? A loop is a fundamental control flow structure. It is used to execute a set of block of code repeatedly until the condition remains constant, until the condition remains true, or until the condition is met, or a set of sequence of or a sequence of elements are processed. Instead of writing a huge number of lines, of code repeatedly, we can use loops for automating the repetitive tasks. It reduces human error and the size of code. Usually, for and while loops are used in Python, and they are used for iteration and automation. So, how for loop is? Let us know the concept of for loop in Python. So, for loop iterates over a sequence of elements such as list, tuple, string, or range. It will execute the block of code for every item in the sequence. Here, for example, n is equal to 4. N is equal to 4 is initialized, and range is defined by using the value of n. Range gives the elements until n number of elements the range gives is n minus 1. So here range will be given 0, 0, 1, 2, 3 will be the elements range generates. So for every element in range, print I will be executed until the last element is processed. So we get whenever the I is given element, the corresponding I will be printed here. Let us see the flow of for loop. Here, for every element until the last element is reached, the set of block will be executed here. Once the last element is reached, then this becomes true and it exits the loop. And index iteration is also allowed in Python. By using the values, index values, we can also iterate over the So here I am initializing A by 3 elements. How are you, or the 3 elements in A, and what we are doing is we are passing the length of this A as a parameter in range. So 0, 1, 2 or the elements generated here, as there are 3 elements here, range will produce 0, 1, 2, and whenever this index iterates over this sequence of elements 0, 1, 2, the value at the index, we are accessing the value in the A by using index. A of 0 will be printed, and index will traverse to the next index. So that is A of 1 will be printed, and until the last element is reached, this will be printed. This statement will be executed. So how are you will be the output. This is index iteration. And how while loop and the concept of while loop is, it will run the code until the condition is true. While loop, until the condition remains true, the code will be executed. Once it becomes false, it will exit the loop. For example, I am taking count is equal to 0. I am initializing a variable with the value 0. While this count is less than 0, I want to print the hello world, and later I will be increasing the count by 1. This loop will be executed until count is less than 3, that is hello world will be printed 3 times here. 0 when value of count is 0, hello world will be printed, and we are incrementing the value of count by 1 with this statement, with this instruction, and then the count will be increased by 1, the value of count will be 1, this will be printed, and the value of count is again increased to 2 by 1, that is it will become 2, so count is equal to 2, again this will be printed. And later when again count is equal to 3, as count is not less than, as 3 is not less than 3, this statement will become, this condition is false, becomes false, so it will exit the loop. So let us see the flow of while loop here. While loop will be executed until the condition is true. The statements inside the while loop will be executed, otherwise it will exit the loop. There is also infinite loop. We can using while loop we can also create an infinite loop. That is, here while it's true we will be printing hello world. This is repeatedly, it will run this one repeatedly, so this is just for an example. And next concept is about the nested loops. Means we can create loops inside the loop. And for example, for I in range 1 comma 5, so I will be iterated over the elements in range. Range creates values 0, 1, 1 comma 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4 will be created. Range will create the 4 elements 1, 2, 3, 4 until I iterates over 1, 2, 3, 4. It will be running the next code, next for loop, that is for j in range I. So whenever I, for suppose I is equal to 0, then it will print this statement, print I will be done, that is print I in the sense print 0 will be done. And later if I is equal to, for I will be iterated or will be traversed to the next element, that is 1, that is 2, then for j in range 2 means 0 comma 1, so 2 times this will be print I will be printed. The value of I here is 2, so the 2 will be printed 2 times. That's how nested loops will be done. Let us see how coding will be made in loops. So for initially let's do for loop, how a for loop will be created. Suppose I want to give, let us initialize a value n is equal to 4. I want to iterate, I want to do for loop n number of times. So range 0 comma n, it will range will create n minus 1 elements, so 0, 1, 2, 3 will be the element here. We want to print once the element, until the last element is reached, we want to print I, the value of I. We shall use colon here, that is a syntax. See, until the last element is reached, the value of I is printed here. And next we have discussed about the indexing, iterating using index values. Well, suppose let us initialize a variable like this, how are you. I'm initializing a variable with 3 elements, and I want to iterate, I want to do for loop over using index. For index in, it should iterate over the length of the index for every element it need to traverse. So we are using length of a, here length of a will be 3 and range create 3 values like 0, 1, 2, and we want to print the value of in that particular index. So for that what we need to do is accessing values by index can be done like this. Let us check whether printed or not. So for always should be ended with colon. idx idk. So we are printing the values of values using for loop and by using index values. And here while loop can be done. While loop will execute the statement, while loop will execute the set of code until the condition remains true. So count is equal to 0. For suppose count is equal to 0. I'm initializing count is equal to 0 and I want to do while until the count is less than 3. Until the count is less than 3, I want to execute a set of block. That is count is equal to count. I will be increasing the value by 1 always for iterating the loop, for making the loop until condition is met. I want to print hello world. So let us see. Here we have initialized the count to 0. This condition, while condition count less than 3 will be executed until the value of count reaches 3. So here initially the value of count is 0, so print hello world will be done, and here count will be increased by 1 value, so count 1 less than 3, it will print hello world again, and count is again increased by 1, so 2 less than 3, again hello world will be printed. So we printed this statement is executed 3 times, and now count is 3 cannot be less than 3, so this loop is, it exit the loop. That is how loop, that is while loop. And in nested loops we will be creating a loop inside a loop. For using range we will create for loop. For I in range 1, 5. So range will create elements, 4 elements from 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 elements are 1, 2, 3, 4. Starting from 1, it will create elements n-1 elements. So 4 times I want to iterate over this, and next for loop I want to execute this for loop 4 times. So the value by I want to pass the value of I. Number of times this for loop, second nested for loop should be executed is depending on the value of I. I would like to print I. And I want to close the final for loop also. Let us check. See here for I in range 1, 5, here range 1, 5 will create range 1, 5. What range 1, 5 will create is, it creates values from elements, 4 elements from 1, 2, 3, 4. Whenever the I iterates over the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, the next block of code will be executed. That is, next for loop will be executed, and that until this condition inside for loop is conditioned, all the elements are executed, print I will be done. So this is all about looping in Python, loops in Python. So that's all for this video, and we will meet in the next video. Thank you.